How's it going this week, everybody? So I'm going to be having Meg on. She's going to be telling me a pretty interesting encounter she had with another one of these white humanoid creatures. Keep getting a lot of reports of these things. I really wonder what they are. I really wonder where they come from, because people are seeing something. Also, over on our Facebook page, I actually found a video of one of these things that this guy says he caught, and it's really freaky. He got some good footage of this thing. And I know a lot of those YouTube video kind of things are really hard to believe sometimes, but this guy was talking about this thing back in 2017 and then didn't catch footage of it until earlier this year, so, it's a pretty long time to be going through this to fake something. So I think his video is pretty credible, so go ahead and head over to our Facebook page. You can check it out. I uploaded a very short clip of it there, and then linked his YouTube channel there if you really want to go see the full videos. Also, thanks to all of our members that we've been having. You guys really help out with the show. You keep those pretty neon lights on, and if anybody would like to go check out our membership, you get episodes 2 weeks early. It's over at challengetheunknown.com. Thanks again. Enjoy the show.
I'll just try and not drag it out. So I'll start with some backstory.
Okay.
This happened about 3 years ago, and I was going on a camping trip with some friends I had just met.
Okay.
So yeah, we were going up to Mount Lemon in Tucson, and I've been there like many times before, and so it wasn't really weird, and I wasn't like scared to go camping or anything. So we go up there, we get there at like 1 p.m. We set up our camp at almost the top of the mountain, kind of like, it wasn't on any trail and it wasn't on any campsite. We just randomly picked a place in the forest and walked for like 30 minutes. So we were pretty deep in the forest, but there were still like other people camping in the vicinity, I would say.
Okay. So you're not totally secluded.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Like we saw other people driving up, and then there was like a dirt parking lot that we parked in that had a few other cars. So there were definitely people there. I didn't see any people. So yeah, we set up camp, and we just like start drinking basically and set up a campfire.
Good time.
Having a good time. Yeah. Yep. And that's relevant to the story because like I was pretty drunk when I like saw the thing, I guess. So
okay.
That kind of makes it hard to remember, which is unfortunate. But yeah, we're just having a good time. Sun sets, everything's fine. It's like 10 p.m. And it's completely dark, and we're all around the campfire, and then we're kind of like, the area we're camping in is pretty thick forest, and then there's a hill right behind us that has no trees on it. And so I have to go to the bathroom, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to leave the campfire. Bye, you guys. And I'm pretty drunk, like not that drunk, though. I can see fine, and I can walk fine.
Right.
So I decide to, like, go up the hill and then go down the other side of the hill since there's no trees and, like, no one will see me there. So I walk up the hill. I walk down the hill, and there's no trees. It's a clearing. The moon is full or almost full, so it's very bright out. And I remember, like, looking around, seeing some flowers, and thinking, like, wow, those are so pretty. And I look up, so I'm on the other side of the hill at this point, away from the campfire. I can't hear anyone talking, so that's, like, how far away I am. And I look at the tree line, where the tree line starts again, and there's, like, this white thing standing there. And I'm like, my vision's kind of blurry, and things are kind of spinning a little bit, but I'm like, in this moment, I remember telling myself, like, you have to remember this, like,
sober up.
You're drunk right now, but you literally need to, like, take this down in your head, in your mental notes. Yeah. So I do that, and I'm just staring at it, and I have no idea what to do. I remember just being, like, completely awestruck, just, like, I don't know, I just, like, froze. And I was just staring at it, trying to figure out what I was looking at. And it was very, very bright white, like almost glowing white. From my memory, and it was standing on two legs. It had, from what I remember, it had like two legs and arms and a head. I don't remember anything about what its face looked like. I don't think it had any hair.
Let me ask you this real quick. We just filmed another episode literally an hour ago with a guy who said he saw one of these white creatures as well. The first thing I want to ask you about it is anatomical features. Was its body disproportionate in terms of the length of the arms?
I don't think so. It's really hard for me to like know what I've like made up in my memory and what I actually saw.
Right.
But it looked pretty proportional. Like it looked kind of tall, like maybe a tall man.
Like 6 foot range?
Yeah, I would say 6 foot. Yeah, but I really have no idea because I was kind of on top of the hill still, and I was like looking down at it.
Was it thin, like emaciated looking?
I don't remember it being very thin or emaciated looking at all.
Okay.
Like I couldn't see any like I don't know. Like it's so hard to like figure out what my real memory is, but it didn't look that thin. I mean, it wasn't like fat or large. Right. But yeah, I kind of have an idea of what a crawler looks like because I looked them up. So
right.
It wasn't exactly thin like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But go on. You were saying?
Yeah. So I just kind of stared at it I have no idea how long I stared at it, but I definitely got the feeling that it was like looking back at me.
Creepy.
And it didn't say anything or do anything. Yeah, but it definitely like noticed me there.
Notice me, senpai? Question mark, Dane.
Notice me, senpai. Notice me.
Continue.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want it to notice me though. But then it just turned around and walked back into the woods and kind of like went into the shadows and disappeared. And after it had left, I just like was like, what the fuck just happened? And I ran back to the campfire and told everyone, and everyone was so drunk that they were like, and also these people didn't know me that well, so
yeah.
I'm just like, I'm honestly not a very superstitious person. I don't know, this isn't something that would normally happen to me. So I think maybe they were thinking that like I was just making it up for attention. I don't know, they didn't really, like, no one made a big deal about it. But it was a big deal to me because I was like, what did I just see?
Creepy.
And so we talked
really
about
creepy.
it. Yeah, we talked about it for like 10 minutes and then just moved on from the night. And then I actually didn't remember it until about a month later.
Right.
I like was thinking back to that trip and was like, oh my God, I totally saw something in the woods. So.
Been there.
Yeah.
Been there quite a few times.
Yeah.
I feel it. It's like you said, it's a pretty short encounter, but I mean, it's still a freaky thing to see in the forest, you know, and a lot of people are seeing something, you know, whatever they are, these white crawlers that they call them, you know, these white humanoid creatures. I don't know what they are, man. But people are seeing something, you know, and it's always like in wooded areas, it seems to be. So, you know. Yeah,
that's true. That's like all the accounts I've read of things like that have all been in wooded areas, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. And like just thinking from a biological perspective, I really think about like how would this creature survive, and how would, if it's a creature at all, you know, we don't know what the fuck it is, you know. I'm sure there's theories out there that go all the way from interdimensional stuff to, you know, cave creatures to, you know, whatever people's theories are of them, but it's not like the paranormal world, because in the ghost world and stuff, people have their theories about what ghosts are. People think like that they might exist in different light spectrums and there's some type of energy, stuff like that. So there's like this kind of general consensus about what people think they are. But the whole crawler situation, I don't think anybody's really come down to a certain like, yes, this is probably what it is. Everyone has their different theories. So I kind of want to start with asking you, what do you think that it is?
Yeah, I have not been like a big believer in like that kind of stuff, honestly, my whole life. So I don't know, but this situation just kind of like took me. But
yeah.
my top 3 non-paranormal theories, I have paranormal theories as well,
right.
But the top 3 non-paranormal ones are possibly just like a naked person that was camping nearby who like wandered into the same place as me. That's a possibility because like I didn't really get a bad vibe from the thing. So maybe it was just like another person that was shocked to see me as well. And like I can totally see someone going camping and like getting naked and walking around. Like, that would be kind of weird, but I could see that happening.
Yep. Dane, you wanna chime in here for a second?
What, naked people in the forest? That sounds strange to me.
Remember our trip?
Oh, when we went camping.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of like naked hippies and stuff.
Yep. So it's not that far fetched.
Yeah.
But was it pale? Was it like white?
Yeah,
or
it was like
just pale?
Yeah, it was like glowing white.
Maybe it was a ginger.
Yeah, maybe like a naked ginger. That could be. Yeah, the second theory I have is that like somehow it was the front of a deer, because like the main thing I remember was like it had like two white legs. So I'm thinking like maybe somehow I was so drunk that it was like just the front of a white deer, or like a deer that had white markings and white legs. This one isn't as great because like, I don't know, it did turn around and walk back into the forest, and it was still white when it did that. So
ooh, right, yeah.
that's less of a like thing. But there's definitely on that one end there's deer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. At least I think there are. I think I've seen them before. But yeah. But the reason I have that theory is because like the way that it kind of just stood and looked at me was very like how a deer would just kind of stand there and look at you.
Yeah.
Right.
But it didn't have a deer face, so I don't know. And then the third theory is like alcohol-induced psychosis. Like maybe it wasn't there. So those are my like three top theories. And then I guess like paranormal theories, I have no idea. Like it could be, I guess, a crawler is one of the things that everyone has mentioned when I tell this story. Or I don't know if it's the same thing, but like a skinwalker, like that kind of thing.
Those are creepy.
But yeah, the thing is, I just didn't get a bad vibe from it. Or it might have been just me in the moment, so scared, telling myself that it was like, oh, this thing is nice, it doesn't want to hurt you. Like that might have been just, yeah, like me comforting myself. I always like a good alien theory, but like,
always.
I don't know. I like to imagine that an alien would wear clothing or something, so I don't really know about that.
Hey man,
so, those are my theories.
Maybe they're hippie aliens on a camping
That's
trip.
True.
On a camping trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you on the aliens would probably wear clothing. If you're flying in a spaceship and you land on a foreign planet, you'd probably be wearing something to protect you.
Yeah, you would think. I don't know though. Maybe they're so different.
Well, here's the thing with aliens that I like to talk about. So when it comes to the whole extraterrestrial thing and like the grays and what people see, what I love to mention is that I have to look at them from a biological standpoint and how they would function as a species, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they have lacking of reproductive organs tells me one thing. What if that, like, the creatures that people see and have encountered with the abduction stories and things that people see in the forest, like the aliens in the forest that people have seen, what if they're not biological, but they're a mix between, like, a bio creature, like a biological engineered thing that was made for exploration by another species?
That kind of makes sense, I think.
You know, that they have no other purpose except to be able to walk and function, and you know that would explain the lack of reproductive organs. It's be that they are genetically engineered beings for no other purpose than exploration. Which would be
well, because long term space travel, like you would need something that would not die.
Exactly. And they could engineer them to live extraordinary, amounts. I mean, this is all speculation, obviously. I'm not trying to be Alex Jones over here, but like what if, like, when you talk about it from a rational standpoint, if you were a higher intelligent species and you had super technologies, like in terms of bioengineering, that's what we would probably do for exploration. We would probably genetically engineer some type of thing to go and explore for us and send data back or bring data back.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't thought about that really, but that does make sense.
So that's just one of my theories on aliens. Is maybe they're not a species. Maybe they're just a thing that something made.
Yeah, that's so true.
You have Elon Musk over on their planet. We're gonna populate Earth. We gotta send our robots to Earth.
Christ. Actually, speaking of Elon Musk, Dane, weren't you talking about you were talking about last night, we were talking about his new brain chip stuff, and we were making Order 66 jokes.
Oh, yeah.
And
I don't know if you're into this kind of stuff, but Elon Musk put brain chips inside of pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to eventually be able to he wants to be able to have like a connection to the internet through your brain. I guess is his final goal. But he did a test where he put them in pigs, and you were able to monitor what the pigs are smelling and how their brain reacts.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, that's crazy. I haven't really read that much about Neuralink, but wild.
yeah. Anyways, off topic.
I just think personally Elon Musk is trying to make monkey gladiators. And we're going to have monkey gladiator fights in 10 years. It's going to be pretty great. They'll do sword fights and stuff for us.
Yeah.
Welcome to the future. No. I do not endorse monkey gladiator fights.
I do.
Dane does. I do not. Challenge the end.
Yeah,
Dane's comments do not represent us as a company.
Yeah, I feel like monkeys are too smart, though. I don't think that'd be nice. Maybe like a chicken, though.
I mean, we already
That's
have
just cockfighting.
fights. They
with extra
strap
steps.
razors
True.
to their ankles.
I was already saying that.
No, but we got a little off topic there, but, you know, I don't know what you saw, man. I think you probably saw something. People are seeing these things. It's not just you. You know, maybe you were drunk, but other people have seen them while sober, and you're describing the same thing. There's definitely some variation between every account with these things, but, you know, we don't know anything about them, and there might be more of them. You know, skinwalkers and crawlers are apparently different, you know, so maybe some of them are skinwalkers, and that could account for the differences, and maybe they're two different things. So who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?